billionaires are some of the loneliest people in the world. Despite their wealth, they often feel isolated and alone. This is because, as Marcus Parson learned, once you have everything, you have nothing to strive for. Human interaction becomes difficult because there is such a disparity between the billionaire and everyone else. This was never more apparent than when Parson hung out in Ibiza with friends and famous people. He may have been able to do whatever he wanted, but he still felt lonely. For billionaires, money doesn't buy happiness. In fact, it often leads to a life of isolation. In this video, we are going to be talking about 10 reasons why billionaires are lonely. Welcome to Coffeepo.com, where you learn finance every day. If you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please do, as we bring valuable information every day to keep you informed and updated about finances. 1. The wealthy often work longer than most people. In today's society, the wealthy are often envied for their lifestyle of luxury and ease. However, what most people don't see is the hard work and long hours that go into achieving and maintaining that wealth. For the self-made millionaire or billionaire, there is no such thing as a vacation. They are always working. Even if it's not in the traditional sense, they are always thinking about ways to make more money and grow their businesses. This can take a toll on their personal lives, as they often have to sacrifice time with family and friends in order to work. They may also have to travel frequently, which can also be disruptive to personal relationships. But despite the challenges, the wealthy continue to work hard because they know it's what it takes to be successful. They have a laser-like focus and are always looking for ways to improve. So if you're ever feeling down about your own financial situation, remember that the wealthy didn't get where they are by chance. They worked hard for it. And if you're willing to put in the effort, you can achieve anything you want in life. 2. A billionaire's schedule is not always typical. Most billionaires have atypical schedules. They don't work the typical 9-to-5 work day, since they don't work for anyone and are not monitored. They learn to work when and where they are most productive, and that in some cases can be weekends, evenings, and other typical social times. This allows them to have a more flexible lifestyle, which can be beneficial for both their personal and professional life. For example, they can take time off when they need to and don't have to answer to a boss. One downside of this schedule is that it can be difficult to maintain work-life balance. Since they're not tied to a set schedule, billionaires may work longer hours and have less time for leisure and family. Despite the challenges, billionaires have found that this type of schedule works best for them and helps them to be the most successful. 3. Rich people can afford to pay for things others need help with. If you're not affluent, you'll find that you have to depend on friends and family for a lot of things. For example, you might have a neighbor look after your home while you're out of town, or ask a family member to babysit your child while you're at work. However, rich people can afford to pay for such things. For instance, they can install a sophisticated security system in their home, hire someone to watch their children, etc., so they don't need to rely on other people to do things for them. 4. Billionaires have less in common with regular people. Billionaires and self-made rich people generally have goals and dreams that motivate them to succeed, and their interests and conversations often revolve around these things. And that's in contrast to interests and topics of conversation among average people. So they appear self-absorbed, boring, or even annoying to some people. This lack of common interest eventually pushes them into isolation. But it's not just that billionaires have different interests than average people. They also have different goals. Billionaires are often motivated by the challenge of making something big and successful. They want to create something that will have a lasting impact. Average people, on the other hand, are more likely to be motivated by the need to provide for their families or by the desire to retire comfortably. This difference in motivation can make billionaires seem arrogant or even ruthless. They are often willing to take risks that average people wouldn't dream of, and they're not afraid to make tough choices in order to achieve their goals. This can make them seem like they're not really interested in the welfare of others. Of course, not all billionaires are like this. Some are very philanthropic and care deeply about the world around them. But even those who do care about others often have a hard time connecting with average people. This is because their lives are so different. They live in a different world with different rules. So if you're ever feeling lonely, remember that billionaires probably feel the same way. They may have more money, but they often have less in common with the rest of us than we realize. 5. The ultra-rich spend the majority of their time chasing their dreams. Self-made billionaires are usually very driven people. Take a look at Elon Musk, who, despite being successful with Tesla, also founded and runs SpaceX, the Boring Company, and a bunch of other companies. And as if that's not enough, he's currently fighting to buy out Twitter. Self-made billionaires are motivated by their dream and spend all of their time and energy on them, often at the expense of a social life. Self-made billionaires are a special breed. They are driven by a singular vision and are willing to put in the work to make their dreams a reality. For Elon Musk, this has meant founding multiple companies and working tirelessly to make them successful. It has also meant making some sacrifices, such as foregoing a social life. But for self-made billionaires, the rewards are worth the sacrifices. 6. Billionaires come off as intimidating to most people. It's not uncommon for people to feel intimidated by billionaires. After all, these are people who have more money than most of us could even imagine, and with that money comes a certain level of power and influence. But it's important to remember that billionaires are just people too. They're not some untouchable, elite class. They are just like you and me, with the same fears, hopes, and dreams. Of course, it can be difficult to remember this when you're in the presence of a billionaire. It's easy to feel like you need to impress them or say the right thing. But the truth is, they are just people. You don't need to be anyone other than yourself around them. The next time you find yourself in the presence of a billionaire, try to remember that they are just like you. They're not some untouchable elite. They are just people with the same fears, hopes, and dreams. 7. It's harder to find genuine friends when you have money. This is because having money can make friendships complicated. Ask most billionaires, and they will tell you that it is easier to get people's attention when you have money. In fact, if you're a self-made billionaire, you'll start to see old friends and family who you haven't seen in years popping back up into your life. But the thing with having lots of money is that you can't tell whether the people you have around you see and like you for who you are, or if they are just there for the financial favors you can offer them. For this reason, many billionaires are suspicious of new or rekindled connections and tend to isolate themselves. Or if they meet new people, they keep some distance until they have an idea of whether or not they are genuine. 8. Rich people attract people who worship them. The rich attract others who worship them. Having money and power tends to attract yes people. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, instead of friendships where you can be truthful and challenge each other, the super rich tend to get friends who treat them like gods. These friends agree to everything. They never criticize or give their true opinion, and in many cases, they don't take offense, even when they should. Maintaining such friendships is usually tiring and makes you feel only even in the midst of all these people. It's not surprising that the rich would rather surround themselves with people who agree with them and don't challenge them. After all, it's easier to maintain power when the people around you are yes men. But these types of friendships are often not very fulfilling. The rich person never gets to experience true intimacy or honesty. And while they may have a lot of people around them, they often feel lonely. 9. Billionaires are pickier about people they let into their lives. Being a billionaire is not all it's cracked up to be. Sure, you have a lot of money and can buy just about anything you want, but you have to be careful about the people you let into your life. You can't just trust anyone, especially if you're a self-made billionaire. Most billionaires are highly disciplined and focused, even when they're not working. They are always thinking about something or having deep conversations. They don't waste their time because they know it's the most valuable resource they have. So it's no surprise that billionaires are picky about their friends. They want to surround themselves with people who are like-minded and who they can trust. 10. Most billionaires enjoy being alone. While this might seem kind of odd, some billionaires actually like being alone. Waking up early to spend some alone time, whether exercising, meditating, or just planning, is a well-known rich people habit. To some rich people, being alone doesn't always mean being lonely. Some billionaires go to the extent of buying private beaches, vacation homes, or yachts just to have a place they can get away from the world. There are many benefits to enjoying alone time, especially for billionaires. Being able to wake up early and have some time to oneself before starting the day can help set the tone for a productive day. Exercise and meditation are also great ways to relieve stress and clear the mind, both of which are important for anyone, but especially for those in high-pressure jobs. And finally, taking some time to plan and reflect can help billionaires stay focused on their goals and ensure that they are making the best use of their time and resources. So if you ever find yourself feeling lonely or down, remember that even the richest and most successful people in the world sometimes need some time to themselves. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be able to join them on their private beach or yacht. That's all for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to hear more videos from our channel, subscribe and make sure to turn on the bell icon.